is David LaBruyere. I'm a professional bass player and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. There are musicians in the family, and, you know, in New Orleans is everybody plays an instrument, it seems like, and this is what I figured I was going to do since childhood. In high school, I was in a couple of bands in the city that did really well. We were totally self-contained, we promoted ourselves, we created our own venues at times, and we made good money doing it and had a lot of fun, and that solidified it. I moved to Athens, Georgia in '87, and immediately, within 3 days, got a job working in a recording studio at Underground Recording Studio for Robbie Collins, and started playing on people's recordings. And it never really seemed like my career started. It just seemed like a continuation of what I was already doing. Speaking in relation to the traditional role of the bass player in contemporary music, you know, I guess that would really be now, and for a number of years now, it would be the idea of having a relationship between the kick drum of the kit player, the drum kit player, and giving a foundation for the singer to sing the melody on. I see the bass guitar as being a bit of glue. Like if you look at a band architecturally, you have the singer and the drummer. That relationship in a band is the core of what the band is, to me. Once you move outside, and James Brown is a great example of that. Once you start to expand from there, I see the bass player, the bass guitar, as being the glue between what's happening there and having an effect in that, but what's happening there and the rest of the band. You know, what kind of chords are used, what kind of voicings are used, how they're used, who's pushing the bar, who's laying back in the bar, stuff like that. Within different parts of a song, the bass guitar's role can shift pretty drastically and make a big effect without the listener ever taking note that it's the bass guitar that's shifting. They just know that they feel different when the second half of the verse hits or the bridge hits or something like that. Sometimes when working with younger singers that have less experience, even if they have a really good intuition about them, about what they want, if they really have an identity and they're successfully carving away at it. Bass guitar is usually overlooked, not always. And the changes that they're looking for, that the singer might want, is actually from the bass guitarist. But because it's the sort of, the instrument that's the easiest to overlook in the whole, you know, in the scheme of a band, I'll find that the singer will look to the guitar player, the piano player for the changes, for trying to find what they want. And I mean, I've had plenty of times on sessions where, you know, usually on sessions, if there's a session leader, a producer, there's the artist, and, you know, all these people are talking on the cue system, and so the less people that talk, the better. There's plenty of times where I'll hear the singer say something, I know what they mean, or I get the general idea of what they mean, but I don't say, oh, let me change this on the bass guitar. I might say, hey, let's just play it again. Or I might not say anything if somebody's saying, okay, well, let's just take the second verse and, you know, chorus, and we'll see what, you know, if this helps. I'll change what I'm doing. No one will have any idea that I've changed what I'm doing, except maybe the engineer. That might be the person that actually catches on to what's happening. And then, you know, the singer will say, oh, great, that's more like what I want, but with no idea of what's actually changed. They just know that the feeling they have is more like what they wanted. What's next for me? Well, I've been back to being a studio rat for about the past 10 years. I've never really been a big touring musician, but there's been a couple of circumstances that I've toured in because I was involved in what's happening, either a band member or, you know, just closely involved. After about 10 years of going back to being a studio rat, I'm going to go on the road this summer with Peter Frampton and, you know, play with Peter Frampton. He's a great guy, it's a great band. I think it'll be a blast, and I'm really looking forward to the change of pace. I'm also continuing to do recordings from home, you know, If you're a singer and you need to hire a band, hit me up. I'll help you. And other than that, I really don't know. It depends on what gets thrown at me.